Keystone have an excellent presentation for you today. So if you're interested in getting your shop some extra revenue, we're going to find out all about outdoor fixtures. And we will be answering questions kind of either as we go along or at the end. I'm not sure what you prefer, Dustin, but we can answer those questions for you. And we will also have a replay of the webinar. So if you happen to step out or miss it or something, we will send that to you. If you have any questions, you can put them in the chat box or the Q&A. I'm going to check both. But thank you so much for joining us, Dustin, and we got Brandon. So just want to say hello and thank you guys very much.
All right, thanks, Maggie. Brandon, kick us off. Well, everybody that doesn't know me, I'm Brandon. I'm Director of Sales for Sign Channel here at Keystone. Dustin's going to take this presentation off. It should be an exciting, to the point opportunity to show some new revenue streams outside of the standard sign. With that being said, fair enough, buddy.
All right, thanks, Brandon. Well, hey, everybody, thanks so much for taking some time out of your day to be with us here. I'm Dustin Slazicki. I'm the Learning and Development Manager here at Keystone. And as Brandon mentioned, we know that you're well-versed and you're familiar with all the Keystone sign products. So today we're going to kind of pivot to our overall outdoor product line offering because we want to make you aware of what other cross-selling opportunities exist within the Keystone offerings. Everything we're going to be showing you is on the Glantz website, so you can refer to that for a quick look. We're not going to bore you with all the nitty gritty. We're going to get into some product details, but really, we just want to make you aware of what's available to you. If you do have any questions, feel free to shout it out, or if you'd rather put it in the chat, we can address it towards the end. So at Keystone, we're all about light made easy. We want to be the easiest company to do business with in the entire lighting industry. So when it comes to light made easy, we have fast, quick shipping. We've got a lighting layout team, a quotes team that can return your requests within 24 to 40 hours. And we have love giving out samples. Samples is the biggest thing that sets us apart from any other lighting manufacturer in the industry. We love giving out samples. So if you or if you have a customer and you're kind of on the fence and you need that little extra push to make a buying decision, let us know what products you want us to get in front of your customers so they can see it, touch it, use it, install it, see the quality, see how easy it is to install. We love giving out samples, no questions asked sample policy. So if there's something you see here today that makes you think, oh, I got an application that would be perfect for it, let us know. So with that, we're going to jump into our outdoor products. I'm going to start with one of our newest. So this is our multi-purpose linear fixture in a 2-foot, 4-foot, and 8-foot size. So this is going to be for like your awning lighting, your canopy lighting. You think of like retail environments where they've got that awning canopy before you walk into the shops, and maybe they have like a canopy light there. Maybe they got like a vertical linear solution like this. So this is again available in 3 different lengths: 2-foot, 4-foot, and 8-foot, and it's got 3 wattage select options under this dip switch. And you got 5 color select options. You can go all the way up to 7100K for a cool, crisp, that super blue-white light. They mount super easy to the underside of the canopy. They're going to have these clips that are included in every box. Mount these to the underside of the canopy, and then the fixture just snaps into it just like that. The only thing easier than mounting these is daisy chaining them together, because on either end, you've got a plug and a socket. So super easy to connect a continuous run. You can do up to 56 feet on one power drop. And we do have a 2-foot extension cable if you got to make like a 90-degree bend, or if there's a break or a gap that you can get around whatever gap or break you have. You know what? Sometimes life throws you a curve, so you got to improvise, adapt, and overcome. So I'm going to swing you around real quick here while I get my phone locked in, and then I promise we'll be good to go. All right. So where were we? So we were talking about our multi-purpose linear 2-foot, 4-foot, and 8-foot. Another very recent launch we had in the month of September was our fuel station canopy. So this is a 15 by 15 inch white canopy that's going to be ideal for fuel stations because it is gas station
rated. So whenever you're doing the signage out front for the gas station, great question to ask is, how long have you had those canopy lights? You know, most of the time they're not gonna, every 5 years or so, you want to replace them. So it's another great cross-selling opportunity. We have these available in white. They're power and color select. So under this knockout, you have 3 different wattage options to choose from based on how high it's being mounted: 150 watt, 125, and 100 watt. And then you have 3K, 4K, 5K color select. If the customer wants occupancy sensing, they want daylight sensing, we have our screw-in sensor that's compatible with our app that you download to program the fixture. But this is another brand new offering specifically for gas station applications. And then whenever you have customers that need just your regular old canopy, we've got your square and round canopies in bronze or white. So 2 different housings, 2 different form factors, both come with wattage and color select. So your square and your round are both going to come with 160-degree beam angle lenses pre-installed. But if this is going into a low bay application, you can swap out that 160-degree beam angle lens with the 110-degree beam angle lens. On the square, there's 4 screws that you undo and you swap out the 160 for the 110-degree lens. The 110-degree lens is a separately sold accessory, but on the round canopy, this collar just unscrews and you can pop off the 160-degree lens and pop in the 110-degree lens that's included in the box. So 3 different types of canopy lighting, not including the linear one that we touched on earlier, obviously, but so plenty of options. If your customers need, if they're doing some like flood lighting, maybe for signage, maybe for a building perimeter, maybe for a flagpole, then we've got a number of options in your floodlight category. So we've got your standard floodlights from 15 watt all the way up to 100. So 60 watt and below, you're going to get the knuckle and the yoke mount both included in every box. You get multiple mounting options in every box. And in the higher wattage floods, you get the slip fitter and the trunnion mount both included. So now you don't have to worry about what mounting applications going into, because both mounts are always going to be included in every box. All of our floods have 3K, 4K, 5K color select, as well as a photo cell with an on-off switch under this opening, which is covered by a translucent cap. And then we also have a number of floodlights that are power select as well. But my favorite product in the floodlight offering is our high power flood with optic swap. So again, you're going to get the slip fitter and the trunnion mount both included in the box. We have these in color select and power select, 120 through 277 and 277 through 480. But the cool thing about this is they're all going to come with a 7x7 NEMA beam spread lens, so a very wide NEMA beam spread lens pre-installed. And then we also include a 6x6 and a 5x5 lens in every box. So that you can tighten up that beam angle if you want to make it a little more narrow. Or if your customers have just really simple wall washing needs, or maybe you want to do like a blue, maybe if there's a bridge, you want to light up blue at night. Maybe you want to do like a red, white, and blue scene over 4th of July, or red and green over Christmas. You can just swap out the standard lens. The red, green, and blue lenses are a separately sold accessory. You can swap in the colored lenses. So we all know that the RGBW floodlights, they're great. There's a lot of things that you can do with it. They look great, but they're super expensive. So for whenever you've got just like really basic, simple wall washing needs, these are an extremely cost-effective solution to going the RGBW route. And then when you want to swap them out, just take them out and put that standard lens back in. So from the big, bad, high-power flood to your itty-bitty baby bullet floodlight, this is a 25, 20, 15 watt selectable, 3K, 4K, 5K color temperature selectable. And these are going to have the same green, red, and blue lens options. So you would unscrew this lens instead of just swapping it out. You would unscrew it and then screw on the colored lens that you want to replace it with. So another versatile option you're going to be able to find on the Glantz's website, as well as the Keystone website as well. And if you ever have a need for the big bad floodlights. This is your sports light. This is 500 watt, 750 watt. These are for your ball fields, your driving ranges, your ports, your harbors, your rail yards, construction yards, things like that. So you're able to use this as a single assembly fixture where you mount the light and the driver as a single assembly, or as you can see here, we've got the driver box detached. So you can mount the driver box at the base of the pole. So maybe you have some, high powered signage lighting or, some high powered illumination. You might not run into something like this on an everyday basis, but when you do, you know that you can rely on Keystone for any high lumen output lighting needs, up to 105,000 lumens on the 750 watt sports light. Bollards were a product that we introduced back in the summer of 2024. So bollard lighting for pathway lighting, you're commonly going to see this in business parks, campuses, certain retail environments. So we've got black and brown bollards. The bollard base and the bollard head are two different SKUs. So we've got your louvered reflector, your decorative style, your conical style head. So you can just pull out the bollard head and swap it out with another one. And you've got power select and color select on the underside of the bollard head. The biggest pain with bollards is doing a bollard retrofit because not all bollard bolt patterns are created equal. So in order to solve that problem, Keystone came out with our retrofit plate. This plate allows you to take any bollard bolt pattern. It could be an 8-inch bollard, it could be a 10-inch bollard, and replace it with one of Keystone's 6-inch bollards without having to drill up the anchor bolt. So you would mount the retrofit base plate over the existing anchor bolt assembly, and then you would mount the cover plate over top of that, and then mount the bollard over the cover plate. So whereas before you would be drilling up the concrete, pulling out the anchor bolts, pouring fresh concrete, mounting new anchor bolts. This eliminates all those steps and all that hassle, and it turns what would otherwise be a 2-day job into a 15, 20-minute job. So the retrofit plates are available in bronze and black. Great sample for customers who are looking to retrofit bollards. This will be a slam dunk every time if you've got a customer looking to upgrade their bollard, show them the retrofit plate. So moving on to wall packs. So wall packs are your wall mounted fixtures onto an exterior wall. And they're typically going to illuminate parking lots, pedestrian pathways. So you've got a few different types of wall packs that are going to provide different light outputs. So your traditional style wall pack is going to have the most forward throw. So we've got this in your standard conventional style housing. But we also came out with the same wall pack in a sleek, slim, low profile designs. It's probably the only wall pack you can pick up and hold in one hand. So it's a lot easier to handle on the job site. You can fit more of these on a work van. You can fit more on a pallet, more on a shelf. A lot of practical advantages to the more compact size. I think anyone will agree that just aesthetically, it just looks a lot nicer than the conventional style traditional wall pack. It's going to take up the same footprint on the wall. So you're not going to have to do any touch up. There's not going to be any exposed faded brick or any faded exterior wall to worry about. And it's got the same photometrics, actually slightly better forward throw. If you don't need that much light output or that much forward throw, we've got our 20 watt low profile wall pack. So you've got your 3K, 4K, 5K color select switch and a built-in photo cell. And we also have this with an integrated built-in emergency unit. So the emergency unit is built in. So it's the same size housing. The installation process is simplified because of the integrated emergency unit. So you typically see these smaller wall packs near like a man door entrance, maybe sometimes around the back of the building. So having an emergency option on this in case there ever is a power failure, is something that a lot of times you're going to find your customers ask about. And if they're not, it's a great suggestion that you could pose to them because it solves the problem in a compact solution where everything's integrated all in one. And then you got your full cut up wall packs. So these are going to direct the light straight downward. These are popular among like your loading docks. You think of a truck driver trying to back in to a loading dock and they don't want that light shining directly in their mirrors. This is going to shine it straight down. Maybe if it's on the edge of a property where you don't want the light trespassing on a neighboring property, so it's going to throw the light straight downward. We've got your standard style full cutoffs. Then we've got this medium style full cutoff wall pack. So this is power select, color select, has a built-in photo cell. You can use this just as its own wall pack, just mounted on any exterior wall. But we also have, you'll see on Glantz's website, our form fit shells. We've got a quarter sphere and a half moon shell. So if you want to take your existing full cutoff wall pack to the next level from an aesthetic standpoint to give that architectural grade look, the shell mounts over the wall pack. So it's a two-piece assembly. So you'll always be able to access the driver. If the shell gets damaged from a storm, you can just replace the shell. You don't need to replace the whole unit because it's not a single assembly unit. Both the half moon and the quarter sphere shells are available in black, white, and bronze. And we do have an unpainted version that we can have painted. We can ship it painted in whatever color you want, or your customer can take it to their local paint shop and then they can have it painted as well. So this is one of those things. It's like, this is so simple and it looks great. Why didn't someone come out with this like 10 years ago? It's a great solution. And for customers who, they can't make up their mind, do they need a full cutoff wall pack? Do they need a traditional style wall pack? We've got our adjustable wall pack here available in bronze and white. Sleek housing, power and color select, use it as a full cutoff wall pack or adjust the angle to get as much forward throw on it as you need based on the application and where it's installing into. So very versatile, bronze and white, power and color select options in your adjustable wall pack. And then, of course, we can't talk about outdoor products without talking about area lights, parking lot lights. So these are going to come up on pretty much every job site. It's a great question to ask. How long have you been using your area lights? Are you experiencing any issues, any failures? So Keystone's area lights, Keystone, we really revolutionized the area light space in lighting, which is a bold statement. But if you don't know about our optic swap area lights, you've got so many variables when it comes to area lights. You've got so many different wattage, color temperature, mounting options. Do they need a photo cell? And what type of optics do they need? So if we take a look at this graphic right here, if your area light's going in the middle of a parking lot, you'll probably use like a type 5 optic that provides a wide, round, all-around coverage. If it's on the edge or the perimeter of a parking lot, you might use your type 4 or your type 3 because you don't want the light to go backwards onto a neighboring property. So before, if you didn't know which optic type you needed, or if you miscounted how many you needed for a job, then you'd have to go back, get a new one. Hopefully it was in stock. If not, you have to reorder it, wait for it to come in. You're wasting time, you're losing money. So Keystone's area light with optic swap allows you to change the optics on the fly. Similar to the floodlight that we showed you, if you open up that door frame on the front of the fixture, you've got it's labeled right here. Not sure how well you can make that out. This is your type 3 optic lens. So this lens is what gives the area light its specific optic light output. So if you want to go from a type 3 to a type 5 or even a type 4, you just grab the accompanying lens. Every area light with optic swap comes with type 3 lens pre-installed and a type 5 lens included in the box. So super easy to swap from one to the other. The fixture is going to maintain its IP65 rating even with the door kit on the face of the fixture. So again, everyone has the type 3 and the type 5 included. We have some stocking specials that include the type 3 lens, the type 4 lens, and the type 5 lens, as well as the desired mount, slip fitter, or adjustable pole mount, and a photo cell and shortening cap. Literally everything you need in the box. For customers who don't want to replace the fixture, if they just want to replace the HID lamp, just know we've got a full line of cob lamps in your omnidirectional, your one-sided, and your expander series lamp. So these fins open up, making it ideal for a shoebox application. And for the ones that are in a smaller housing, like your wall packs, we've got your one-sided. So you're only directing the light outward where it needs to go, so nothing's being wasted. And then going back to one more wall-mounted exterior fixture. This is our Sentinel cylinder style fixture. So this is still a new, relatively new launch for us. This is an uplight and downlight, direct and indirect light fixture. So maybe for some place, maybe where they've got the canopy lighting on like a retail space, where you got the sidewalk where all the shops are, and there's canopy lighting overhead. This could be a great alternative for customers who just, they just want to change it up, give it a different look and feel with the uplight and the downlight. So these are available in 3 different sizes. We've got a 6-inch, a 4-inch, and we also have a 3-inch available in white, black, and bronze. So each one of these is going to have a photo cell with on-off switch, 3 different color select options on this dip switch. You've got 3 different wattage select options, but you can also change the uplight and the downlight. So when you slide this switch to the up position, you're going to do just uplight. When you slide it to the down position, you're going to do just downlight. And when you leave it in the middle, you're going to be doing uplight and downlight at the same time. Each of these cylinder style fixtures comes with a 40-degree lens pre-installed. So if you want to tighten up that beam angle lens, or if you want to widen it out, we also include 2 25 and 2 60-degree beam angle lenses, reflectors included in every box. So you just unscrew it, swap out the 40 with the 25 or the 60, and then screw the lid back on just like you're screwing the lid on a jar of pickles at home. It's that easy. If they only want to do uplight, we have some blank caps that will cover up the bottom so it doesn't look like the bottom LED is burnt out. So that's an option for you as well. And then, as if it couldn't get any better than that, as if we couldn't make this any more versatile, similar to the wall pack with the architectural shell, we've got this square rectangular shell where you can take your round cylinder style fixture, just simply insert it into the shell in order to convert it from a round style to a square style. So now no one's going to know that it's a round fixture in a square housing. So we've got the shells in black, white, and bronze. We can do custom shells as well. We got a blue one right here. So as if it couldn't get any more versatile, you could even change the form factor, change the housing of the fixture. And then lastly, in case you weren't aware, we were talking about area lights a second ago. So Keystone now offers poles. So our poles, a couple unique things about our pole offering. First of all, they're going to be 15, 20, 25, and 30-foot poles in bronze, steel, square design. We can do custom. We can do custom lengths. We can do round, custom colors. It'll add to the lead time a little bit, but whatever your customers needs, you're not tied to just the 4 pole offering. But these 4 poles, the 15, 20, 25, and 30 foot, they're going to cover roughly 80% of the demand you're going to run into. You also notice that our poles are going to have these bolt and wire hole patterns, these openings on all 4 sides, not just on one side. Some poles, they don't have them at all. So the installer has to drill through them to create them themselves. So our poles have the openings on all 4 sides. They're going to ship with some heavy duty silicone stoppers in there that the installer just knocks out. And then we have our anchor bolt assembly kit, which is a separate SKU. So these would be ordered separately. The anchor bolt kit would arrive after a couple days. And then poles, industry average lead time is around 5 to 6 weeks. And we're more around that 4-week range. So a huge advantage to going with Keystone's poles is not just that they're competitively priced and not just we've got the 4 SKUs that are going to cover the vast majority of the demand, but we can match and or beat pretty much any lead time that's out there. So with that, I think we covered the vast majority of everything. I think we covered everything that's in on Glantz's website, as well as some extras. So because we kind of had to switch it up due to some technical difficulties, if there were any questions in the chat, Peggy, if you wouldn't mind assisting and letting me know if there's any questions that came up. If anyone didn't have a chance to put any questions in the chat, if you do have any questions right now, Be happy to open the floor up to anyone who
Okay.
has any questions.
I'm looking in both, and there's two open ones. Okay, where do you do your custom paint? What kind of paint are you using? Interesting. Okay.
Good question. So for the shells, for the wall pack, as well as the shells for the um, Sentinel style fixture, I believe that those are painted here domestically in the US. Other fixtures, we can do custom paint on area lights, floodlights. It's additional lead time, but those ones are being touched up here. I can get you more clarification. We can follow up
Okay.
with a definitive answer on that.
Yeah, I've got the information. Cool. Thank you. And then we also have another question. Are the polls 4 weeks to the West Coast also, or is there an additional shipping time? That's a good question.
Yeah, it is a good question. So generally, the lead time on polls is going to apply nationwide. We partner with a supplier who they consolidate their loads. So, whether it's going to the West Coast or somewhere that's a little bit more local, because those loads are consolidated, they're able to, we're able to offer that 4 week lead time pretty much anywhere within the 48 contiguous U.S. states. And then, obviously some exceptions are going to apply. Sometimes they'll get there a little sooner. Otherwise, sometimes, it might take a little bit longer depending on some other factors. But generally speaking, that 4 week lead time is reliable for the vast majority of our customers.
Okay. Another good question, what's your shipping and freight policy on poles? I know we had something where if you buy more than one, it's a lot easier to do. So I just that's a good question.
Yeah. You want to jump in here, Brandon?
Yeah, so what we do on poles is the 15, 20, and 25 are going to buy two poles, get free freight. The 30-foot will qualify for free freight on a single order. And as far as the 4 week lead time, we're really running closer to two. Generally, the following Monday after you get an order in is what our general ship time is out of there. So, and they are stored in Cincinnati, so a little more central.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Yeah, looking for brand of the paint you use, by the way. So,
What'd you say? The
the
paint?
brand of paint. Yeah. The next question is, do your corn cobs need casing?
The corn cobs need casing.
You
have to elaborate a little more than that.
Yeah, Elaine, can you?
You mean, could you use them just exposed outdoors? If that's the question, then no, we wouldn't recommend that. They should be
Okay.
sealed in a shoebox or a wall pack
or some
fixture.
sort of enclosure.
Yeah, they're not IP65 rated themselves. You would want to use them in an IP65
Okay.
enclosed fixture if it's going to be exposed to the elements.
Okay.
Otherwise, if it's going indoors, if you've got like a low bay application in warehouse or a production area. So yeah, you wouldn't have any issues using it in that environment, but it's going to be outdoors. You would want to make sure it is not exposed.
Okay, because she had asked what kind of casing or box, I guess, do they need to go in? So that might sort of answer that a little
Yeah,
bit.
typically in almost all applications, if the HID lamp that
Mhm.
you were replacing was functioning properly in that environment, then you'll be able to. They are IP64 actually, so they can be used in certain outdoor applications. So there you go.
All right.
But we would certainly recommend using it in an enclosed fixture to be safe, but there are some, maybe if it's like under a canopy or something like that, it can be outdoors, just not necessarily exposed to rain directly.
Okay. Then we've also got what makes the new fuel station canopy fuel station rated versus a regular canopy light?
Yeah, so that is something that's going to come up. You're going to want to make sure customers are going to want to make sure they're getting the correct type of fixture for that application because the fumes from the gasoline, making sure it's enclosed and not getting into the fixture. So essentially, it's just a sealed additional enclosure rated. Standard canopies do not have.
Okay.
For a
Yeah,
lot
I
of
always see the like, don't get out of your car and create static or something will blow up. So that kind of makes sense.
Probably the biggest difference is gonna be the mounting.
Okay.
More than anything, where you're gonna have a thread that can go typically for your gas station canopies. There's gonna be a junction box on the top side of the canopy itself, where you can thread this through and mount a lot easier specific to the gas station applications. Whereas our standard canopy is just gonna be surface mounted. It's probably, and obviously the size, design, and the light output as well are some of the biggest differences.
All right. And people know, of course, that they can request samples if they would like samples. I think that is something that you guys do that is awesome. And appreciate that as a partnership. I do not see any other questions on here. I think most of them have been covered. Well, let me double check. Yep. I think we're good there. If anybody does have any questions, though, of course, we'll be happy to answer them. I'm just waiting a couple more seconds to see if anybody else has any.
Yeah,
But
sure.
I'll send out a recap.
Thank you to, once again, thank everybody for taking the
Yes.
time out of your day and jumping on here and bearing with us through all the technical difficulties. But just a reminder, like Peggy said, we love giving out samples. We're all about light made easy, kind of glossed over it earlier, but we've got a lighting layout team here. So any outdoor lighting project, parking lot, wall packs on an exterior wall, if it's a sports light project, we have a lighting and layout team who can turn around any lighting layout requests within 48 hours. So if you want to make sure you get the best mix and match of fixtures, then we've got a lighting layout team here that's going to help assist to that end. One other thing I want to add as well is the promo that we've currently got going on.
Oh,
So Amanda is volunteering
Amanda.
amidst our technical difficulties. Amanda is our Vanna White here. So for promo going on through the end of November,
Yeah.
anyone who orders $500 worth of Keystone products is going to get a $50 gift card to put in your pocket. A Visa gift card, usable anywhere. So just as our thank you for ordering Keystone, any order of over $500 will get the $50 gift card now through November 30th.
Awesome. Thank you.
Thank you, Amanda.
Yes, Roger, we went over that before that we will record it. So if anybody wants to see this, they can certainly look at it. Thank you so much. I appreciate you guys. All right. I think we're about to wrap up. I don't see any other questions. But thank you guys for attending. And yeah, we're getting a lot of thank yous. So there we go. Thank you.
Thanks, everyone. Reach
Bye,
out if
Brandon. Bye, Dustin. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Bye.